Hi everyone, welcome to Module 3. This is about connecting to your joy and reconnecting back to what is naturally yours. In this module, we'll be reconnecting back to what brings you natural joy. So what thoughts and feelings bring you the most amount of joy? What are your desires? And this is a really fun, exciting part of this module, to work out what you actually really love doing. And lesson 3.3 involves looking at the offerings of joy to yourself. So these are these rituals that we are building to ever increase the thinking and the feeling brain, as well as your connection to your heart, so that you are establishing this neural network between both these regions to keep connecting you back to your joy. And the fourth lesson is tuning in to the intuition of your brain and your heart in coherence with each other, and having a listen to what it is that you really want to do to connect to your joy. I can't wait for you to do these last two sections. And if anyone has not seen the first module, please look at the first module, because it really explains the brain and the heart connection and is vital for you to really get the most out of this module. So, what thoughts or feelings bring you the most amount of joy? I don't know if I mentioned this before, but having a little journal, which you call your happiness journal, is a really, really fun way of connecting to your joy. I have a little pocket-sized happiness journal module, a happiness journal, which I use to record anything and everything that brings me joy, from being in a wonderful landscape like this to having a lovely warm hot chocolate, or just listening to beautiful music, to listening to the amazing sounds of nature. Having a look at what thoughts and feelings and activities bring you the most joy can stimulate your brain and your heart to connecting back to that joy. Another really easy way of working out what thoughts and feelings bring you joy is looking at a photo album, or creating a photo album which has all the photographs of what brings you joy. And it might just help to remind you of what brings you joy. Putting images on your phone or your phone album, that can actually help remind you each time about what brings you joy when you look at it. So the point of those two activities, or the point of working out what thoughts or feelings bring you the most joy, is to have a look at whether there's a similarity in the type of experiences or connections that really open up your heart to connecting to your joy. And you'll start to notice certain patterns might emerge. So for instance, for me, I've noticed that one of the biggest patterns is my connection to nature and how that truly connects me to joy. I started recording this video inside a home, and I found that everything just felt a little bit stilted, whereas when I've been recording it out here, out in nature, and I've got little birds flying around me and these beautiful, beautiful trees and rock that I'm sitting on, it just inspires me to connect to my joy while I'm making this video for you. The other thing to look at is what areas have you grown in the last few years. Because it helps you connect back to that feeling of joy inside of you yet again. So for instance, if you look at how you were eating maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and how now when you are eating food, you really take joy and satisfaction in what you eat, then that in itself is a progression in terms of how you are connecting to your joy. Other things might be, you might notice that everyday tasks that bored you before, you are now able to find a deeper sense of joy and connection when you're connecting to it. And that might be another insight into how you can more deeply connect to your joy. So have a look at the areas of your life, and these may include your own self, your family, your friends, your work, hobbies, any areas that are important to you, have a look at what specific parts of these areas in your life you have grown in your joy. Because the more you start to collate these experiences, the more your thinking brain is engaging in those moments of joy. And then it also triggers the feeling brain to start feeling those connections to your joy. And then as you do that, you actually drop back into your heart and re-experiencing that joy. And before you know it, you've got this massive coherence occurring between the brain and the heart. And remembering coherence is just the synchronization between the brain and the heart to try and connect you to your joy.